Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about the latest A24 movie, the origin story of Anthony Bourdain. Tony, before we get into the spoilers and and all of it, we're gonna talk a little bit about the movie. I have no cultural connection or whatever to Anthony Bourdain. I was never into cooking shows or whatever. Like my version of cooking in terms of like cooking culture is Bobby Flay. And even then, I don't really care about Bobby Flay. It's just that he has a super hot daughter, Sophie Flay, and then the hot TikTok chick, Susie Vidal, right, who does cooking things or only hungry, whatever, only hungry or whatever, only pants. There we go, right? So, like, I know who he is and the death and all of it, but like I don't have any connection to it. Like I never saw that show. Everyone saw. A lot of people I know were on the show, but like that is a world I have no like connection to. So yeah, but I will say, I'm really digging that we're just giving people origin stories in like the terms of the Joker, right? Because like we also have the Chris Hansen origin story movie with Robert Pattinson, which already is another amazing meme similar to that. Get these beggars out of here. It's the singing, you know how that looks, right? Right? Great for Robert Pattinson doing all these fucking amazing movies because the Batman 2 is never going to come out. But I gotta say, A24, I know we're gonna do a George Santos movie eventually. I would like to be George Santos, and I promise we will win an Oscar for it. Okay? Because we're just doing origin stories, very dark, random origin stories. So, before we get into the spoilers and all of it, Emilia Jones is fucking amazing in this movie. And listen, buy stock now in Emilia Jones, right? A lot of you may have seen her on Task. I know there's another movie she's in that is coming out in September. There was a trailer for it in front of this movie. I really dig, first of all, very few girls look amazing with bangs like the way she has it. It's just odd. Like, very few women look amazing with it, right? So she looks similar. Her and Ella Purnell are the two women who can rock bangs in a way nobody else can. I think Sadie Sink as well, right? Yeah, but like you know how like Nina Dobrev had it in like the Vampire Diaries, very bad, and like how Leah Michelle had it in Glee, also bad. But Amelia Clark really pulls off the hot suburban Jersey girl or Brooklyn girl so well and so cool. Like the swagger this woman has is truly fucking amazing, right? Um, I think she was also in what she was in that fucking Glenn Powell movie. What was it? The Running Point, Running Man, whatever, and obviously Coda, right? Which won the Oscar. She's only 24, and I know she's in that. Her and the other Netflix romance superstar have that. The night was it the 99ers, the women's the soccer team movie coming out on Netflix, I believe next year, right? And I believe the two of them are co-leads, so that's gonna be fucking amazing. But the swagger this woman has in this fucking movie, like holy shit! Listen, holy shit. Okay, like she is gonna eventually like become. It's interesting how a lot of people are saying, you know, we didn't have a lot of Gen Z like powerful actress or good actresses, which is just a lie. Because like let's go through like the new X-Men cast, by the way, right? Sadie Sink, Callie Spencer. Remember, you're Gen Z if you're under 29, right? Like if you're under 29 by the end of the year, you are Gen Z. So like Callie Spacey, Sadie Sink, Jenna Ortega, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Amelia Jones, the girl from Wuthering Heights, Alicia, she was also in Task, right? Right, and Indy from Obsession, right? We have a poppin' amount of Gen Z actresses, right? They're all great. Oh, how can I forget? What the fuck? McKenna Grace, right? Like we have a good poppin' amount of talented young actresses. Now, I will say for young men, it outside like McKenna Grace's boyfriend and like a lot and that. Oh, and Catherine Newton too, right? We don't really have like the Gen Z boys are not really like popping off like that yet. Who knows why? But next to this, Dominic Sessa. This is now the third project I believe I've seen him in. Right. I love the Holdovers. I really related to the character he played in it, the private school kid that like was basically an outlaw and the outcast, and that's why he lashed out. Then he's basically playing like a bootleg version of Jesse Eisenberg in Now You See Me 3. And in this, the way he plays, because I don't know what fucking Anthony Bourdain's fucking personality was or if he was like this, but we start off in an interview. He's basically trying to be Dan Humphrey. He wants to be a writer, right? And he's trying to get this fellowship to be a writer so he can live in New York and write and live in the fucking upper West Side and all of it. And he has this whole plan. Apparently, he has like a autistic brother and all that, but he's at a bar the day before he goes back home from college, and we see that he's talking to his friend. Don't remember the friend name, some guy, and he sees Emilia Jones there. Name is Nancy, and he's like, she was slightly 2 years older than him or whatever. Like they went to the same high school together. They're all at Vassar College, but they're all from Englewood, New Jersey. Again, I understood culturally a lot about this movie because I live in Jersey City. So I very much understood already the type of people or family that Nancy and Anthony Bourdain come from, right? Very Catholic family. Like I understand the type of Englewood Catholic they are. I was like, okay. So, and he's like, I'm going to get the scholarship. I'm going to be this fancy writer. He's talking to her friends and he's like real smart about it. And she's like, well, I'm going to Providence for the summer, the Cape Cod. And you know what? If you're back at college in September, come find me and all this. So he goes home, family dinner. The mom is like, I understand the type of mom this is. Like, she's a real bitch and constantly does random things to put down her son in random ways. The dad is kind of a dork or whatever. And she's like, he tells her, I'm going to get this fellowship. She doesn't buy it because she can tell when he's bullshitting. Phone call comes in. The brother picks up. The people are like, you didn't get it, but he's lying on the phone to make it seem like he got it. He leaves overnight, stealing his parents' money. And once again, this is where I keep forgetting it's not 2026. Everything is very cheap in 1975 because, like, I hear the prices of everything, and I'm like, wow, $500 basically could have lasted you, like, the whole summer in 1975. Right? He takes a bus to Providence. Boom. And he's on the island. He's on the Cape Cod Island for whatever reason. And he's like handing this picture of her from the yearbook to random people. He's by this pizza shop. He sees her making out with the pizza guy. And they all work together. He's upset. He goes to drink. And then this is where like there's a lot of unsettling things about Anthony Bourdain. Oh, he likes to go by Tony, right? I keep forgetting this. God, the fuck yeah. He likes to go by Tony. So he's at this bar and he's drinking oysters and drinking beer. And there's the waitress, Mary, and he's kind of getting uncomfortable. He's like, want to come back with me or whatever. And he's acting like a little kid. He grabs her. She tells the chef and Anthony Bourdain. I'm not Anthony Bourdain. I mean Antonio Banderas and the dude from White Lotus who like fucks Haley Lou Richardson in the show, but he's fucking Megan Fahey in real life. The one that like gets fucked by his uncle or the gay uncles or whatever the fuck. Leo Woodhull beat up him, and for whatever reason, he carries nunchucks. Okay, that happens. He's passed out on the floor. He gets robbed by someone, right? All the cash. And then Antonio fucking Banderas takes him to his house. He's asleep on the hammock. Wakes up, leaves, and there. He's about to go home. Well, he has no money. But he's at the boat, the ferry that goes to Boston. He has no money. He's like, fuck. And Nancy sees him. He's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I got the fellowship. I'm supposed to, my mentor's here in Providence. I got to be here and all of it. And she's like, oh, why don't you come to the house? Big white house on top of the hill or whatever. Goes back. Antonio Banderas is like, you can sleep here. You work for me. Right. So he's like cleaning dishes and all of it. He's like, I'm a cook. My dad was the best chef in New Jersey. I don't know if this is true because he just lies. I don't think he was. He seemed like the dad seemed like a lame accountant. I don't know what is real for Anthony Bourdain's life here, right? They all make fun of him. They call him Felicio, right? I believe it's Felicio, Spanish, whatever Spanish is for twig. Um, or Flaco. Yeah, they keep calling him. Yeah, I'm gonna read them. Keep calling him Flaco. And what happens is he's like, I'm going to a party, and Leo Woodhull is like, you can't go alone. People are gonna think you're some creepy rapist. And Antonio Banderas is like, he's correct. You have to go with someone. So go together. And they go, and they immediately go in, and we see like the swagger of Leo Woodhull, and like what's it called? Anthony fucking Bourdain keeps telling him like, "Oh, you're my college professor at Harvard. I'm not. I don't work in a kitchen. I'm a writer. You're a professor. Please go with the lie." They're at the thing. They go to the party, and one of these he talks to this girl, and the girl's like, whose dad are you?" I was like, "I could be your dad if you want it." Oh, and they talk. Okay, and then immediately he takes her upstairs and he fucks her. And apparently, this is a thing he does after everyone he fucks on this island, right? He just takes a piece of wood from like where he fucked and he puts them in a trophy jar he has in a jar of all these pieces of wood of everyone he fucks, and he fucks a lot, right? He talks to Nancy. Nancy's friend is like, "You're a fucking liar. You didn't get the fellowship. My friend got the fellowship. We go to church together." Well, he's like, "Yeah, she got and then he lies. He's like, "She got the female fellowship. I got the male fellowship," and all of it. And they see the pizza bowl. Oh, right. One of the girls says, "Oh, are you the pizza guy with the big dick?" Right. So we know that the guy Nancy's fucking has like a giant dick. Okay. By the way, Emilia Jones just looks eternal in like every fucking scene she's in. Okay. He leaves, getting very angry, drunk, passes out in a hammock, and then more dishwashing things. He's very asleep. He constantly gets hit with water, waking up, and this is where he begins to kind of learn how to cook, how things work. By the way, I just want to say this is the entire cooking thing for this in the kitchen. This is where I'm like, after 5 seasons of The Bear, right? And I feel like I know how a kitchen works after watching 5 seasons of The Bear. I'm like, that kitchen, I understand it's 1975. I don't think that kitchen would pass health inspection codes in 2026 because they don't wear hairnets. They don't wear the gloves or any of it. They're just shucking shit. They're smoking in the kitchen. They're doing cocaine in the kitchen and all of it. And we kind of begin to see what begins his problem. He does like cocaine from his neighbor, from Leah Widow's character, and all of it. And how he does the dishes and this, and then he learns how to shuck an oyster properly, kind of. He leaves with Leo to go somewhere. They run into a guy. They went to pick up supplies for the kitchen, and one of the dudes who like he knows gets him heroin. Watches him, and yeah, he watches Leo do heroin. He doesn't come back to work. We, the viewer, think, oh, he must have OD'd on heroin or whatever, right? But before that, they're at a bar drinking, hanging out together. Nancy is with the pizza guy with the big dick. Leo pushes him into the pizza guy, falls down. Then Leo just beats the living shit out of the pizza guy. They leave. Okay, pizza. And this is the crazy part because we're on this island, so it's not hard to identify people. I don't know how like the cops never arrested any of these people for assault, right? That's what's happening here, right? But we go back. Leo Woodhull is not at work. We think, oh, he must have died from a heroin overdose, right? And then I'm thinking, oh, this is 1975, not 2026, where like a lot of heroin and coke is mixed with fentanyl. I think drugs were more pure back in the 70s. We're more at risk for AIDS than you were for mixture of fentanyl and dying. So Antonio Banderas is like, you're going to learn how to shuck oysters. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. This is where I guess he learns how to cook. Okay. Leo comes to work drunk and high, punches Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas goes, you're fired. he leaves. They begin cooking and all of it, and they're having good family time. Then time is passing. He hands a oyster to at the pizza shop. Nancy's like, "You're banned, by the way." But he's like, "The peace offering. Can you take photos for me for my book, please?" And all of it. And then we get like a montage of him like getting photos taken, I guess. Then they have this conversation. He no longer wakes up from the water being sprayed. They have this conversation about the book and cooking and all of this and how you shouldn't curse or use God's name and blasphemy, all of it. Like, oh, interesting, right? Then, oh yeah, they go fishing. Antonio Banderas and Bourdain, because it's striper season, are able to catch a stripe. We learned that just because it's black doesn't mean it. Just because it's burnt doesn't mean it's bad, or just because it's black it doesn't mean it's burnt. All of it. Then Nancy comes the next day, sees him like cooking the salmon. He's like, "Do you work here? Are you working in a kitchen?" And he's like, "No, this is for my book. I'm writing about the kitchen and all of it." And all of it. And she's like, "I've been here. This is a fast food place. This is not some fancy Michelin restaurant." And he's like, "Come Friday for the special. We try something new." Then the next day, he shows Anthony Bourdain, we should try Anthony Banderas. We should try fancy lobster. We can do this like here. Let's do it. He falls for it because apparently Anthony Banderas believes that Bourdain's father did own some restaurant, fancy kitchen, and so he believes them. They try it. Nancy comes. They try it. The kitchen is so overloaded because they're not used to this type of thing. It's very the bear here. This turns into like the bear for a hot minute. Uh, Kitchen catches on fire. He tells everyone to evacuate, and boom. Okay, the restaurant's gone. Nancy's like, "Should you help him?" He seems upset. Like, "No, want to get out of here." And then they're about to have sex. She looks hot. And what happened? Oh, yeah. He confesses to everything to her. She tells him to leave. Okay. Then he goes back home and to Banderas' house. Banderas is like, "You're a liar. You never worked in the kitchen. I'm an idiot for believing you. Fuck you." And he leaves. And then he runs into Leah Woodall again, who's at this, who's like a dock oyster person, like Graham Plattner. And then he's like, "Let's break in." He does illegal things. They break into the house and they're looking for the tip jar that had all the money. And he finds the cookie book. He's like, "Okay, let's do this. Let's go into the restaurant. Let's take the supplies from the restaurant. And we'll say this clam bake off thing is to restore the restaurant." Everyone on the island comes. And so does Mary. And Bourdain begins to feel bad because he's like, you know, Leo's like, "We should leave. Let's take the tip jar and go." Because then Antonio Banderas comes and he's like, "This is for you." And then, Nancy's like, "Come find me back at Vassar." And then, boom, he's back at, taking the boat, going home. And we get this whole flash thing of Nancy at Vassar looking for guys that look like Antonio Banderas. I mean, Tony, right? Gets a letter from the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, and the letter of recommendation is from Anthony Banderas. Like, he's very talented. He has the chance to be the best chef in the world. Please accept him. If there's any problems, please call me at this number. They hire him. He's like, "What's your name?" And he goes, "From Tony, I'm Anthony Bourdain." And then the movie ends. Okay, please put Emilia Jones in more movies. Because I gotta say, if Emilia Jones was not in this movie, Levitt, like, being a beautiful eternal goddess and everything, this movie I don't think is very good. Right? I think like her like brightness she just brings to the screen elevates the movie. Because if you try to just like, because you could do the movie without, I understand, I believe that was his first wife, right? And movie just works. Emilia Jones is amazing. Okay. And yeah, that's the movie. It's very good. It's a good movie. I don't think I would see it again. I will watch anything with Emilia Jones though. But I gotta say, Dominic Fresca is basically playing now 3 movies in a row as some neurotic, lanky white kid. Like, they're all just neurotic people, and I feel like this is where he's gonna get typecast. In the same way Jacob Elordi in Euphoria always gets typecast as a psychopath bad boy. But yeah, that's it.